Okay, what we have here is a Hewlett-Packard 95LX. This is one of many DOS-based pocket PCs or Palm computers that were very popular in the late 80s, early 90s. These evolved through time into what we now know as PDAs, or even those were replaced with smartphones. Pocket computers were not intended to be desktop replacements or even laptop replacements. They were intended to provide some portable computing on the go without having to carry an expensive and hefty laptop. Remember, many laptops from this time period weighed over 15 pounds with batteries installed. This would be very usable on an aircraft, for example. If you're traveling between locations and you needed to work on your Lotus 123 spreadsheet, you could transfer your data from your desktop to this, make your changes, and then transfer them to the client's desktop when you get there. They're very convenient. I don't know a lot about this one particularly because I just got it and I haven't really played with it much. There's a ton of information on the web dedicated to this particular machine, and in fact it was part of the 95LX, which was replaced by the 100LX, the 200LX, and the HP 1000CX, and it was superseded by the OmniGo 700LX. So this is the earliest in a series of Palm computers from HP. And the specs, now this is straight off the Wikipedia page. It's running an NEC V20 CPU, which is by the way, that was a very popular upgrade for the original IBM PC. It was a little bit more capable than the original AMD 8088 chip that they often came with, or the Intel version, as the case may be, running at 5.37 megahertz. The device has 1 megabyte of RAM, and some of it which is dedicated to ROM. Actually, no, I take that back. I believe it has a separate ROM chip that's exclusive of the 1 megabyte of RAM. And it is expandable with a PCMCIA static RAM card, which would fit right here. This is a normal Type 1 PC card slot, or PCMCIA slot. It doesn't work with non-volatile memory. I've tried it, it didn't work. The static RAM cards have batteries built into them, and when those batteries are depleted, the contents are lost, so it's still volatile in RAM. Like I said, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it, but I'll show you what I do know. It is running DOS 3.22, which is surprising. It could probably get away with an earlier version of DOS, but nevertheless. You turn it on by pressing the power key. It's instant on. If I do a Control-Alt-Delete, since it is an IBM PC at heart, it does respond to the same key commands. There we go. It boots instantly. And it boots up to a DOS shell. Now, I haven't broken it out of the DOS shell just yet, but it comes up to this menu, and it just tells you to press the appropriate application key. You've got the system file list, which shows you all the files that are on it, including directories. You've got your communications tool. This can be linked, I believe, through a serial port to a phone of that time period, but I'm not sure exactly what was it. Again, I didn't really do my homework yet. But it does have a serial port on the side right here. And it also supports infrared communication through this window. And there's also an optional power supply. I don't know what size or what voltage it is. There's a phone book, a memo pad, Lotus 123. It turns out this was developed in conjunction with, or with some input from Lotus, because they were looking to develop a device that could make Lotus 123 portable, and it turns out HP was already in the process of developing such a device, so they kind of worked together, and that's how it earned its Lotus badge. Lotus was like Microsoft Excel, only way more popular in the 80s and 90s. Built-in calculator, of course. Very basic, though. I mean, it does what you would need on the go. If I needed to write out a letter of resignation on my way to a major business meeting, I could do so with this device. And if I had an HP printer at the meeting with the optional infrared interface, I could print my letter of resignation on this machine to the printer wirelessly, and then hand it to the board of directors right then and there. Now, I don't know why I would do that, but, if that was just an example, I wouldn't jump to that initially. But anyway, so I mean, it is what it is. If you're familiar with the Pocket PC, the Pocket PC, spelled Poquet, I like the Pocket PC more than I like this, because the Pocket PC is just a very basic, stripped down, know-nothing DOS machine. It does have its own built-in apps, but it doesn't have that stupid DOS shell that this one has. And if I figure out a way to break out of there, I'll do so. But the Pocket PC was, I just liked it more. It was about the same size, maybe a bit bigger actually. I know the and I actually made some videos of the Atari Portfolio, which was a very expandable little device. I think it had 2 slots on it, actually. I think it might have had 2 memory slots, if I'm not mistaken. But I did have one, and I made several videos of it. But it was just one of many DOS-based pocket computers. Really, that's all I have to show you. I'll show you how to take the how to replace the memory backup battery here. There it is. Battery's right in here. There's the infrared sensor. Should be 2 there. Yeah, okay. Battery's right here. Just a little CR2032 coin cell. Did I just break that? No, I didn't. Anyway, this little window goes back. I was fortunate enough to find this sucker at Savers. It was in the hardware section, of all places, and it had a price tag of $3 on it. And very, very happy to find it. It was a cool find. There were no batteries in it, thank God, but there was a little bit of battery corrosion in the battery compartment. You can see on this terminal here, there's some corrosion. But it's not really that bad, and it's all fixable. In fact, when I put batteries in it the first time, it booted right up. And I was very grateful for that. When you take this door off, it is supposed to switch it into battery backup mode, meaning it switches power over to the coin cell to keep the battery, or to keep the memory alive. Remember, this uses static memory, which is volatile, meaning if power is lost, it loses contents. So, turn it back on again, and I do a Control-Alt-Delete. If this worked out okay, it should have kept my name, and it did. So it turns out when I took the coin cell out, it was still being powered by the main batteries. When I put the coin cell back and took the door off, it switched over to the coin cell battery. If you take both batteries out at the same time, it goes right back to factory defaults. So there you go. As for cost, I don't know what this thing cost back in the day, but I would say it was somewhere in the 4 digits. Probably $1,000 or more. I mean, these devices were not cheap. That much I know. And they were hard to get because there were so few of them and so many people wanted them. It was released in April of '91. Again, I'm reading this right off Wikipedia, so I'm cheating. But that's it. That's all I got to show you. And as I explore more and I get more, I don't have any static RAM cards, but I'm thinking about picking one up just to play with it and see what it can do. I want to try to put some DOS applications on the memory card and see if I can run it off the card. I was able to do that, I think, with my Atari Pocket PC. But because of its screen layout, it's not fully IBM PC compatible. Stuff isn't going to show up right. It may not even run at all. Does this actually tell me what the display size is? I don't think it does. 16 by 40. And it doesn't have a backlight. It's a reflective backlight, a reflective screen. So you can use this. You can actually use this in broad daylight, and it'll work fine. You can see it just fine, just like you would a digital watch. So that makes it kind of nice. Well, that's all for now, and pretty much showed you everything, so that I know.